Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah. I think this video you want to do, this is the one thing you can do to increase your attractiveness to the other species.
Or the same species.
Basically, any souls or anybody on this planet, I guess.
Exactly.
Right?
This isn't just an attraction for a love connection. This is something that, this is just one attribute that if you have this, people are just magnetically drawn to you, right?
It's cash, isn't it?
No.
No.
That was that high note I was talking
Yeah,
about.
no, I like it. You got it.
You like
Yeah.
it? Thanks. No, it's, there's a lot of words for it. And, we were going to use the word sexiness, but since you can be that person in the office, we thought maybe that wasn't appropriate. But
well, it isn't, or even other species. I was just making a joke about that, but all of the souls on the planet are attracted to others for this one thing, and a lot of things, but this one thing
This
in particular, right?
thing, exactly. And it's called self-confidence. So have you ever noticed that person, they're just so self-confident, and I'm not talking about in a cocky way where they think they're better or they're narcissistic. That's a whole different video that we can talk about another day. I'm talking about that person that's charismatic and self-confident, and the reason is because they have 100% bulletproof self-worth. They're not worried about what they're wearing, if they look good, if they're overweight or underweight, or if they've got a pimple. They're not worried about any of those things. They are very full of the unconditional self-love and self-worth, and that exudes self-confidence. Yeah. And we are drawn to these people.
Well, I think you said it best, where it almost doesn't matter what they look like. It might not be the traditional,
right,
whatever that is, person that looks like you'd see on the cover of a magazine. I'd say, right?
Or it might not be somebody that you normally would say he or she is my type, right?
Right.
But all of a sudden, you are so dynamically drawn to this person.
That's the key that I'm looking for. I'm being careful not to say, because looks really don't matter.
They don't matter,
right?
at all.
They shouldn't. All this stuff is superficial.
Right.
But let's all face it. If someone were to put, pictures up, this person or this person, in front of a group of people, oh yeah, that person for whatever is more attractive. Maybe they're taller. Maybe they're in better shape.
Well, they've actually
right?
done studies on that where they've done facial measurements on the position of the eyes and the nose and the mouth on a face. So taking pretty much the same basic features but move them in different places, and it's really bizarre that people would think that one is more attractive than the other.
But the thing is, you're kind of giving me a little
right.
credence too.
Yes.
There is a phenomenon out there, whether
right.
we want to admit it or not.
Right.
It shouldn't be, but it
right.
is. But that being said, what you're saying is, one person can be on a scale of 10
mm-hmm.
on the good factor and on 1, but if this person 10 doesn't have that charisma you're talking about, all of a sudden it's like
right.
wah wah.
Right.
This person over here is really pumped up and is self-confident
right.
and loves themselves. They're very attractive. People want
right.
to be around them. That's the point, I guess.
Well, I've heard of a lot of people saying, like, do you ever notice how you always see a really attractive woman with a guy who's just, maybe not as attractive as her? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you hear people say that a lot. And what they're...
I hear say things like
that. What they're not understanding is that attraction has nothing to do with physicality.
Right.
That's the superficial attraction,
right.
that if you don't already know what you're looking for, that's the physicality that you can see across a room when you first met somebody. But, how many times have you met somebody who's, oh my gosh, they're so attractive, and then you go to speak with them and the conversation is just not that engaging or interesting. So this has nothing to do with physicality. It has 100% to do.
And let me just add that too. But
confidence.
What you're saying is, even if they're not that interesting, but if they're self-confident and they're giving off this high vibrational energy, they don't have to be a genius either.
No,
that's the other thing.
right,
So it's like,
right.
the topics you might like, oh, that really wasn't that interested in the topics, but the guy or that gal was just really interesting.
Riveting.
I don't know what it was. I really wanted to hang out with that person.
Right.
Right.
Right. People that are self-confident exude that, and they draw other people in. And you know, how do I become that person that other people want to be around? You know, that's a great question. Well, self-confidence comes from within. So if you are so concerned about what's on the outside that you're not exuding that self-confidence, then take a look at yourself from the inside. Stop looking in the mirror and start looking within. And
I like that one.
Right?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Because so many of us are just so worried about what's on the outside. I can tell you what, people don't want to have a conversation with somebody because of what they look like on the outside.
Right.
You know, unless they're that superficial that that's all they care about. And if that's what you're, you know, looking for, so be it. Who am I to say? But we're talking about, you know, this is a universal connection that everybody wants. Everybody wants to be part of this person. You know, there's a lot of actors that are, you know, not traditionally, you know, that attractive, but they are so charismatic. They are so energetic. It's that high energy, that self-confidence. They don't care if they're the most handsome man or woman, you know, on the planet. That is just not of importance. What's of importance is that they're so self-assured that they are deserved of everything, that they get everything.
Yeah,
right?
Interesting. I love what you said about stop looking in the mirrors and look within.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to put some brown paper over the mirrors in the bathroom.
I think that's fine. We actually don't have a lot of mirrors in our house. We don't.
I'm kidding. There are some things you have to look at. You have to check out things.
You do.
Right?
Well,
Just
I mean,
so
you
like,
don't, but I can tell you what. Because Jeffrey and I are plant-based, if we didn't have a mirror, we'd be going out with lettuce between our teeth, probably on a daily basis,
Yeah.
some sort of kale or
I
something.
do like to look at a mirror when I'm shaving.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
idea.
a good one too. Yeah. So you need it for things like that. But I do like what you said. I'm making some fun here.
Right.
But stop looking in the mirror and look inside. That's beautiful
Right.
advice. I think that's a great one to end on.
Is it?
Did you have something else to add?
Well, I was
saw
just
your
going to say
chin.
about, you know, with you and I, we talk about this all the time, as amazingly handsome as I think you are, and every day
thanks.
you get more and more handsome to me. When I look at you, what I'm drawn to, and even in the beginning, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When you and I first met, I always
we got a lot of
say,
stuff. Someone said a trap.
I said a trap.
Okay.
I was somebody asked me, you know, what was it about you? And I was so drawn to your personality and your humor, and you were making me laugh. It was that self-confidence. I mean, you were really self-confident. You know, he told me to call that other guy and tell him he met the man of his dreams, that I met the man of my dreams, and that I couldn't go out with the other guy that I had plans with, who was my boyfriend at the time. That, in the way that he said it, because it could come off a lot of different ways, it was so self-assured, but it was also humorous. Those are the things that I'm talking about that draw you to people, and people are drawn to you. I think people are definitely drawn to you.
Well, no, it just happens. This isn't anything we're making up. I think most people understand that. You just have to focus on self-love and self-confidence. That's really key.
Right.
And thank you for those compliments. And I think you're gorgeous too. And you'll back me on this one.
I'm not looking for.
Well, I've said
In return,
I've said
but I
that to
appreciate it
you since the beginning.
Right.
Like I would just look into your eyes and I
Right.
see the beauty.
Right.
I think you're
Sometimes
gorgeous.
he misses the kale between my teeth, and so I do go out with it in there.
Yeah. And then she's mad at me because I didn't tell her about it. It's like I was looking into her soul. So.
But you know, now we don't get upset anymore because we know none of that really matters. Is somebody going to think differently? You know, if you're out on a date and you have something between your teeth and you get home at the end of the night and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't they tell me I had this between my teeth the whole time? Do you think that that's going to make, you know, them not be interested because if you had something between your teeth? If that's the case, guess what?
Right.
bye-bye, right?
Right. It's not that significant. Maybe if you had a Q-tip hanging out of your ear, that might
Okay.
be a little too far. But
There's the
you know,
right. Exactly. I'm going to do that when I get in bed tonight just for fun. All right, so that was what we wanted to talk about. Self-confidence. It's that one characteristic that draws people to another person, and it comes from within. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the Nest at Copper Mountain.